Hey y'all, today I figured I'd do a quick walk around video of my Yanmar 2210. They started manufacturing these in 1977. I don't really know what year this one is. I believe it's probably from the early 80s. I've owned this tractor a couple of months, and I figured I'd just make a quick video on what I do like about it and what I don't like about it. But first, let's fire this thing up, let it warm up, and I'll bring it closer to the house. So first I'll show you how to start this thing. That's your run position, and if you turn the key back one, that cycles your Thermo Start is what they call it. But there's actually a little container in there that you put diesel in. I'll show you that in a minute. And it drips warm diesel down the intake. This right here is your decompression lever. You're gonna pull that, and when you start it, you're going to give it full throttle with the foot throttle. Keep this low. Let it turn over for like 10-15 seconds, or until you see like white smoke coming out, not a bunch, but a little bit. And then at that point, I usually click this off and it fires up in a couple seconds. And it is nice and cold out here. It's about 30 degrees, and I haven't started this in a couple days. Tough to start in the cold. So I'm gonna let that warm up for a couple minutes, and then we'll bring it over to the house and take a better look at it. Okay, so it's been running for about 15 minutes. Yes, this tractor does smoke a little bit, but now I'll show y'all how to drive it. So obviously this right here is your clutch. These are your brake pedals, left and right. I have them locked together right now. Here's your foot throttle. This is your, I think it's called power shift transmission. So this is first, second, third, and you don't have to press the clutch to shift it right here. That's reverse. And here you have like a super low, and then first, second, third, fourth. And this is a Japanese model, so this has a 4-speed PTO. To engage the PTO, you press the clutch all the way in, put it in gear, and then this right here is your 3-point lift, so obviously you bring that up, and that comes up. So now we'll drive it back over to the house. So I'm gonna throttle up just a bit. I'll put it in third gear, and then first. Okay, so to use that power shift, like I said, no clutch, you just shift it up. It's kind of like a semi-automatic transmission. And then I like to press the clutch and press the brakes, make sure it stops to put it in reverse. So we'll pull it up to the house now. This right here is your parking brake. Press the brakes, just put that up. Now to shut it off, make sure you're off that foot throttle. Just push that all the way forward. Now I'll show you all real quick. These are your lights. You pull it up just a little bit, and that gives you low beam. And then you pull it up further, and that gives you high beam. These are your blinkers. That's your left. I don't have a left blinker. And then right, I do have a right blinker. This is a horn. My horn doesn't work, but that's the horn. Now I'll show you all the engine. To get the hood up, you just pop these rubber latches off. There's one on each side. This is a 2-cylinder, 26 horsepower diesel motor. But with a 4-foot bush hog, this tractor would be absolutely perfect for some light bush hogging. This right here is your Thermo Start I was telling you about. And this right here is where you put some diesel in. You see, I don't have any, but you manually put diesel in there. It doesn't fill up automatically. Here's your air intake. Your air filter's up here. Your fuel filter's on the other side. I'll show that in a minute. And here's your oil filter. Here's the oil. I'll go ahead and show you. So you want to be at least in the upper portion of those cross hatches there. A little trick I want to show is sometimes on this tractor the oil light will come on saying I have no oil pressure. This right here is your oil line that goes to the head. You can check your oil pressure with this. I don't crack it loose down here, but if you follow this line, it comes up the other side to the head up here. And if you'll just crack one of these loose and unscrew it a little bit while it's running, oil should squirt out of that. Or if you really want to, you can probably shut it off and it should, you know, some oil should come out of that. That's just to check if you have oil pressure and this goes off. But in most cases, it's best to have this fully operating. Right here we have our fuel filter. This is your shut-off valve. So the O's actually mean on this, and then that would be off. To bleed the fuel system, first you turn it on, and then you crack this one loose till diesel comes out. Close it, and then you crack this one loose till diesel comes out. Close it, and then I like to crack this loose until diesel comes out, and then close it. And then you have to crank it over with the decompression valve engaged so it doesn't fire over. Do that for like 30 seconds, and then give it a go, and it should fire up. Obviously, this is your diesel tank. This cap has been messed with before. It's supposed to have a fuel gauge there on some models. So there's your lever to lock the brakes and unlock the brakes. So on the back of the tractor, obviously this is my 3-point hitch. I've turned that down so it's coming down now. And this is your PTO shaft. If you flip the seat up here, you have a toolbox underneath. Mine's pretty beat and banged up, but yeah. Over here for the radiator, you have the screen right here that you pop 2 of these tabs out on either side. So you have one right here and one right there. You pop those loose and just pick it up. That's to keep a bunch of fuzzy stuff and dirt and whatnot from clogging up the radiator. And then right here, you have your coolant overflow. See, I have just a tad bit in there. If that fills up often and your temperature light comes on, then you have some sort of overheating problem. To get to the air filter, take both of those loose, and then you have this piece right here, which usually doesn't come out. You have to pull it out yourself, and then you have your air filter. And now these tractors also have Diff Lock. That's your Diff Lock pedal right there. So you would just, sitting on the tractor, you would just step on it while you're moving and knead it and pull it up when you don't. Since mine's been moving, it's not in the crosshatches, all the oil splattered, but that's where your transmission oil dipstick is. So now I'll discuss what I do like about this tractor and what I don't like. I'll start with what I don't like. What I don't like, which this isn't too big a deal, is the positioning of this. Getting on and off the tractor is just right here. I usually just put it up and it stays out of the way for the most part. But when you're starting it, you want that down. So I don't know, it's just kind of a minor inconvenience. The next thing I don't like about this tractor is the tachometer. Yanmar company didn't really make these to be, you know, super reliable. They're not known to function well or be accurate. So the tachometer kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Now, another thing I don't really like about this tractor is this Thermo Start. It doesn't work that well. I wish this tractor had glow plugs. It would start so much better if it did, but it is what it is. This still works fairly well. I would just prefer glow plugs. And the last thing I don't exactly love about this machine is the cost of parts, because this is a Japanese tractor. I will show. This is the Japanese model of the 2210, which is kind of cool. But stuff like this injector pump here, I don't know what they regularly cost, but this cost me nearly $400 to get offline. And that's the cheapest I could find. Because it's a foreign tractor, not quite like this Ford, Parts are kind of expensive for this too, but not as bad as this. Because it's a foreign tractor, parts have to be imported, and it's just more expensive than I would like them to be. What I do like about this tractor now, it's pretty user-friendly. It's tough. It's got a smaller engine than most people would want, a 26 horsepower, but it's pretty tough for a 26 horsepower. I've been impressed by the torque and power that it does put out. I like how it's built. It seems really well built. I like this power shift transmission. They're known to be reliable, and it's just easier than something like you see this on most tractors, older tractors. Most tractors have these 2 shifters on a transmission, and that's not that big a deal to me, but this is nice. And if you have a front end loader, these can be set up with a front end loader. This makes it so much easier with the front end loader. So overall, this is a great tractor, really solid. Perfect for maybe like a bush hogging business. Like I said, a 4-foot bush hog would be perfect with this, and that lets you squeeze into some tight places, and it can handle every bit of that. It's a really solid, well-built, and user-friendly tractor with only a couple little flaws that could probably be modified to, you know, work a little better. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope it helped some people out. We do a lot of content on tractors, equipment. We ride 4-wheelers, all kinds of stuff. So if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in watching, feel free to subscribe to the channel, because that's what I do.